Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of some F1 2020 gameplay, and of course a continuance of the on F1 2020 game experiment. A few of you happy with the RPM that was being put out by the early 90s cars and compared the video that I did last year. So that's precisely what we've done. We've got 3 engines, and we're going to compare also the times that we did from the episode that we did the other week. But so yes, if you haven't seen that yet and you'd like to go and check that out, there'll be an I think at some point in the video, probably when the timing screeners are up, showing you linking you to that video. But yes, I just want to say before we do get on to this video, a quick thank you for all the support on the channel so far. We're currently aiming for 200 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm on 176, so we're well on our way to making this the best year. Actual fact, July has been the best month on the channel so far. So yes, just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's viewed, like, comment, and of course the main thing is subscribe to the channel as well. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please do. It massively helps me out in terms of supporting and sustaining the channel in future years to come. Okay, before we get into the V12, this audio and the performance file are not from this game. They're from F1 2018. Unfortunately, the audio file on my game has sort of glitched a little bit. It's sort of like either is muted or doesn't come up at all. It's a bit weird because it was working on F1 2019, so I don't understand why it's not working on this game. You see there, we just dropped a little bit again, so I don't know why it's doing that. But yes, this is from the 1995 Ferrari, the last V12 that ever got into in the game, in Formula 1, and it's definitely a lot better. 6 gears. I did experiment with the 7th gear, but it sort of didn't bottle out, didn't give me too much, it actually lost me speed, so it's better to, I found it better to rev up in 6th gear, all the way up to this 17,000 odd RPM it does. Across the line, what can we do? Hopefully a 123, no, 124. Oh well. I mean, it could have been slightly better, but okay, so we've moved on to the V10, and like the experiment I did last year, I've chosen the noise from the 2 noughties V10s because they sound a lot better, but replaced the performance file with the 98 McLaren Mercedes powered V10, purely because all the other V10s, including the new Ferrari as well, I did double check this, from 2000, the BMW 2003, the Ferrari 2004 all show mega stats, so I wanted something that's a bit more comparable compared to the other 2 engines. And this is the fastest of the 3, gets up to 203 miles an hour, compared to 201 and only 197 for the V8. Again, 17,000 revs, 70,000 RPM, excuse me, not revs, is what we will all get out of here. It's only got 6 gears as well. I did check this. I had to check this as well. It's not something that the game hasn't broken. The car, the original engine from 1998 only had 6 gears. They didn't have 7th gear wasn't a thing until the early 2000s. So that's something I didn't actually realise that on this game. But yes, obviously acceleration is a factor, and where modern day cars have of course managed to nail that, we sort of haven't. I've lost around that, and also the fact that even though we do have the assisted DRS, So yes, in the Williams, the V8, I've put, by the way, I put Racing Point in the V10 and then put the rest of them in the V8. So obviously this was the one that has 20,500 revs. It's obviously the Renault V6. The sound isn't from the Renault V6, it's from the Brawn, which I personally think sounds a little bit better. Yes, because I grew up on V10s, I always say that V10 sound is always better than the V8. But look at the revs, 20,500. I might see if we can put these revs in a V10 engine. That might be something that comes in a couple of weeks' time, potentially, if I don't forget about it. But this lap isn't that bad. I also did a lap on the Alpha Tauri. The Williams is absolutely horrendous. It's a lot worse on this game than it is in real life. As I say, hopefully there will be a performance update, and Codemasters will be able to then make it more realistic, because so far it is definitely not realistic compared to what's happened in real life. I mean, Williams got into Q2, no way with this car they would ever get into Q2. We're some 4 seconds off the pace. Bearing in mind we're actually only against the Ferrari in a 27. 25 has been done behind camera, and it's 25.0. And switching to, of course, the times. So part 1 was the earlier video, around about now. There will be an eye thing that will take you to a card, rather. They're not called eye things, they're called cards on YouTube. That will take you to the part 1 where we did a V12 versus V10 versus V8 versus V6. Those engines from the late 1980s and the early 1990s. These ones, of course, are later on, so of course there's more power, more RPM. Interestingly, the Ferrari, I mean, I know there's only 5 years between them, but it's only a tenth faster. Same for the McLaren. The McLaren really was a surprise, because you'd expect a bit more from Honda to Mercedes, but in actual fact it's only a tenth down there. Obviously the big thing is, of course, the V8, because the Ford was lacking a little bit compared to the Renault powered V8 of the 2006, so that obviously is actually slight 4 tenths a lap faster than the other two, which is intriguing, which also got me thinking about the other thing. And then of course the Williams, which is actually slower than the V6, so probably something to say about the Ford V8 that we actually use from the Jordan isn't actually a great engine. But yes, enough about that. We're going to have a race now, a 25% race as well, so we can maximise the chance for these cars to sort themselves out and then make the best up out of overtaking. Around Italy, let's go.
Here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Max Verstappen and Albon, Norris, Magnussen, Sainz and Roman Grosjean, Ricciardo, Ocon, Sergio Perez and Stroll, Raikkonen, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Daniel Kvyat. Latifi and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Nothing from that Jeff there. I'm too busy doing something. Race strategy, we're going to change this up. We're going to go medium softs. Obviously it's a 25% race, and it makes complete and utter sense that we should be going from mediums to softs, and spending less time on the mediums. That complete sense, Codemasters there. I also don't understand why the game chose us the soft to hard strategy. That really doesn't make sense. Nobody else will be there. 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. Go, go, go! It's naturally a good start compared to Magnussen. He bogs down compared to Albon, though we're going to be boxed in. We try to go 4 wide between Norris and Albon. No space there. We've got to watch out for Grosjean in the other Haas. Magnussen's having a go and trying to have a look around the outside of Verstappen, though. We do understeer. Contact there, a little bit of contact there with Albon. But the Thai driver is going to get the better line out of turn 2 and up to turn 3. Can we get this move done though into the middle section? Yes, we can, just about. And of course Albon has to yield, and now of course we set up to try and get our teammate as quickly as possible down the back straight as we head towards Ascari, using all of our overtake down the inside into Ascari. We've gone wide onto the curbing though. Can Norris come back at us? No, he can't. We block him off, and that is up to P7 now. So we are making progress, but it's short-lived progress because Norris is now right on our tail, not even with DRS is activated yet. Albon's going to have a look as well, but we go, obviously we brake a little bit later than Norris and retain P7 for now. Obviously we're looking to close the gap on Magnussen, which we are doing as well, but we are bringing Albon and Norris along with us. Albon's now going to have a go up to turn 3. We're going to have to do this round the outside this time, and we retain the place once again. So now look at the battle ahead was between the battle of the V12 engines, including Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, who's got Verstappen and Bottas going side by side, with Leclerc up further up the road leading the Grand Prix, and Hamilton gets the place. So we now move to lap 4. We have now caught up to Magnussen, but Magnussen's slowing, and surely that's Magnussen out of the race. Wow, I didn't expect that from his V8. And no safety car. That's the first retirement we've had on F1 2020 where there hasn't been a safety car come out. I mean, we got lucky there. I mean, we could have pitted actually. As you look behind us now, as Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez, they're sort of holding everybody up in their V10s compared to the V8s. Yeah, I think the V8s definitely have a little bit more acceleration as we're coming into the pits here in the lap 6. But the V10s, of course, are keeping ahead because they're maxing it down the straight. So they got the V8s are just getting stuck. So coming into the pits, nobody else is coming in, which is good, but that's going to drop us back. 2.9 seconds stop, about average for 2020. Slower compared to normal 2019 times. So come out the pits about. It's like going to be 13. It's going to be last place, Latifi, but everybody's got to make their stops. So we're going to be in clear air. We're going to push. And this is Alex Albon on the following lap. He's come out of the pits. Interestingly, he's not going to lose. Not only is he going to lose out to Norris, but somehow Kvyat and Raikkonen have got in front of him.
Some information on Leclerc. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
So Leclerc, who was leading this race, is holding everybody up. He's backed me into Bottas. And of course, this is a 6-way fight for victory now. Can we get anything out of this race, or will it be too late? Obviously the V12s have got a little bit more acceleration compared to the V10, but obviously, and the top end speed is only literally 1 or 2 miles an hour in it. Not enough where you've got aero as well factored into that, where Mercedes cars have got better aero. So can we get anything? We're closing up to Bottas through this section. Can we have a look up to turn 3 down the inside? Potentially, no, we're far too far back, but we're going to have to take a better line through the Lesbos curves. Hamilton's got in front of Leclerc, so he surely's got victory in this race. Where will Leclerc go? I think Vettel's going to go through now to get second place for the Scuderia. Can we get Bottas now? On the outside of Ascari! Yes, we can! What a great move. I did not try that. I was just poking around the outside to see what we could get. But now we've got Leclerc up ahead. Verstappen's now getting past Leclerc. Can we get past Leclerc round the outside of Parabolica. It's not the ideal line. We're going to go side by side with the Ferrari. This is going to be up to the line. Bottas is well sizing up the move. Up to the line. It's 4th place. Fantastic end there. What an ending. And Danny Kvyat, of course, gets driver of the day. But I don't really care about that. That was a great ending there. But Hamilton won and Vettel and Verstappen. The V8s actually triumphed the V10s in the end. So their acceleration did pay off, but I reckon they probably made it up in the pits. And obviously overcutting was the best thing to do there, because the mediums were not the best tyre. But yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more F1 2020 game experiments. If you've got any ideas that you want me to do, then let me know in the comments below. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.